Yeah, so the email was released at 4 o'clock, and before that, I was in the hub just doing SGA work. And so as soon as it hit, I finished what immediately needed my attention with SGA, and then I quickly walked over to Marquette, to which I walked in on a meeting with Dr. Sarah Kelly, which is Senior Vice President who oversees student affairs and enrollment, as well as Dr. Maria Cazalda, who's our interim provost, as well as other handful of great faculty. And I just started asking questions that really hopped in my mind, questions that weren't initially addressed in the first email. And they took all my questions, they answered all my concerns, and they expressed that they'll continue to send emails out to students in respect to academic life, in regards to food insecurity, in regards to providing digital equity. So when the university shut down, how do we still allow students who don't have access to laptops at home or to internet connections to still complete their online coursework now? So we had a critical conversation about that.
Yeah, for sure. How did that go?
It went really well. But I think the best in regards to the scenario, of course, there were things that were hard to hear. Moments where I teared up a little bit just as a graduating senior. And they will be coming tonight to Senate at Wednesday, or tonight, 7 o'clock, Monroe 152. We might exchange it to Monroe 610, so stay tuned for that. But Tanya, the provost, and SVP, Dr. Kelly, will be there to talk a little bit more and take more students' questions and concerns.
Definitely. And I mean, like, how do you feel? Um, you know, obviously being SGA president,
Yeah.
it's your job to represent the student voice and
Yeah.
everything. So I mean, how do you feel like the student, you know, how do you feel that the student body is feeling right now?
Well, it just hit 2 hours ago, so I'll just speak from personal experience
Yeah,
that
for sure.
I am upset, obviously. I am sad that today I didn't wake up in the morning realizing that was going to be my last day of school as a senior and just last day at Loyola, essentially. And it's still processing right now, just even the fact that I won't be able to see my friends that I'm walking to from class, or see Miss Trina in the OR, like little things such as so. And as a student leader and as a student president, it's my job to ensure that students come out on top. So while we are debriefing and while we are learning on the job every day of like, okay, to what extent do we have to handle this virus? We're used to hurricanes. We're used to if there's a storm coming through. We're not used to something that's unseen. We're not used to something that you can't necessarily know who's in contact with what to what extent. And this is like the first time in a long time, or since Hurricane Katrina, that we've ever fully gone online. And so again, I'm just going to continue to represent student voices. I'm going to continue to go to the board of trustees meeting this Friday and really advocate for things that maybe aren't necessarily addressed in those emails that are to come, things that kind of pop up in this next few months for students who decide to stay on campus. So again, I will continue to work until I'm sworn out of office, to make sure that students are well protected in this process.
Definitely. Yeah. So I mean, what are those things that you want to like advocate for that you feel like weren't fully addressed yet?
Yeah, so again, emails are still being sent out,
Yep. Yeah.
and it's only
100%.
been 2 hours, so I really don't know exactly what that is. But I think just keeping an ear to the ground and listening to students that maybe there needs to be an up and cleaning in the residential halls, or let's say they would like to extend the hours, because there will be hour restrictions on certain
Yeah.
departments and resources here, but making sure that students' needs are adequately met in a time of this. So
Yeah.
again, just making sure they always have an outlet
Uh-huh.
to voice those concerns.
So what do you know about dining availability from here on out? And also, like, are you guys gonna keep people out of the dorms?
No. So, from my knowledge, or from what Dr. Kelly relayed to me, is that it's going to be optional for students to leave the residential halls. If they would like to fly home, that's an option, and they're still allowed to stay here
Okay.
as well. And then, in regards to food, food insecurity, Iggy's Cupboard will remain open, and we actually will extend hours. Dr. Kelly and upper administration is going to help fund a little bit more of that because we expect our community students to pull more heavily from there. In regards to having the OR open, it will remain open. In regards to the food court, I don't have any information on that.
Okay. Do you think that can change the next few days, or?
So as of right now, officially, we're online for the rest of the year, and I think it's out of a preventative
Yeah,
measure.
100%.
So just seeing how the coronavirus cases in the surrounding city and the state either increase or sustain, or if like decrease, I will be contingent on hours of operation and if we decide to open back up. But again, we want to take into account the students who can't necessarily go back home and then fly back,
Yeah.
who don't have that financial means. So as of right now, everything's officially permanently on.
No, I was more talking about like kicking people out. Like, do you think that
Oh no,
you'll eventually?
students will not be kicked out
Ever? Okay.
at all. No,
Okay.
students will not be kicked out. Students will be allowed to stay here on campus. We're just going to kind of crank up the cleaning and the disinfecting, and we will also make sure that students take on that social responsibility and make sure they're
Yeah.
washing. So,
What about OR and stuff like that?
OR will be fine. OR will remain
Rest
open.
of the- till
Yeah,
May.
till May.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's no, and